All right, this lesson is going to be a little bit different. Okay, 100% this one's going to be very, very different compared to what we're normally doing. We're used to just solving problems or whatever else. Okay, we're going to kind of walk through some situations called association versus causation. We're going to talk about correlation. It's kind of like two different lessons tied into one. But remember, this week, I've already told you guys, this week is a little bit different because you're actually not going to be assessed over this stuff. This is actually just more of an informative week, okay? When we get to our next section, which is writing systems of equations, then we kind of, what I like to say is we kind of kick it back into high gear, okay? But this week is kind of low key. If you haven't figured that out yet, there's not a whole lot of pressure this week, which is good, okay? 100% fine. Next week kind of fires it right back up, okay? All right, so here we go. We're going to talk about correlation, causation, association. When I talk about causation, okay, do you have an example of what might cause something else? What can cause something? If I eat a whole bunch of food, what can happen? I get fat, okay, yeah, you can get fat, okay? If you run more, what can happen? You get more fit, okay? If you, I don't know, if you're driving down this, if you're riding a motorcycle down the street and you get hit by another car, well, I mean, that's really dark and that's really, I really hope that doesn't happen. But things can happen, right? Does that make sense? That cause and effect, okay? You guys have heard of cause and effect, right? So we're going to kind of talk through that. Now, there's a couple things I want to discuss first. Now, I'm going to step out of the way a little bit. Obviously, I put the screen a little bit bigger on the video. I put the iPad a little bit closer just so that you guys can really see what's going on, because not only are we going to use the screen a little bit more today, there's actually going to be some things I want you to type in on your Chromebook. So while we're going through this, if you guys want to open up Desmos to a graphing calculator, let's go ahead and do that, okay? Go ahead and open Desmos to your graphing calculators, and I'm going to show you here in a little while what we're going to need, okay? Now, to start out, while you're doing that, here's what I want to show you. Correlation, okay? What is correlation? A correlation coefficient is a number that tells you how accurate your line is. Now, what is the equation that I told you that we need to know in Algebra 1? It is y equals what? Y equals mx plus b. And I told you that everything that was on that y equals mx plus b line fit in the equation, yes? Everybody with me so far? Okay, everybody's fine. Now what we're going to do is you're going to make an equation out of points that aren't exactly perfect. Okay, and we're going to talk about it. Now, one of them is called the correlation coefficient, and it tells you how accurate it is, okay? Now, if it's r equals 1, now please hear this because this is the important part, okay? This is the part you will probably see. If it's r equals 1 or if it's r equals -1, that means the lines make a perfect line. I mean, it is perfect, okay? The farther you get from the number 1, basically it's between -1, +1, and 0. 0 means the dots are just kind of scattered all over the place. There is no like pattern. They're just kind of like you took a whole bunch of dots and just threw them up on a paper. Okay, that would be 0. Okay, -1 is a perfect negative straight line. +1 is a perfect positive straight line, and anything in the middle it kind of gets away from being a line. Okay, we're going to discuss that here in a minute. So, what are my two perfect numbers? -1 and +1. Anything outside of those numbers are not perfect. And the closer you get to 0, the more scattered it gets. It goes from +1 and then it goes kind of scattered and then it gets back together to be a negative line. Okay, we're going to show you that here in just a minute, okay? That's what correlation coefficient is. All right, here we go. So let's look at the first one. This one over here. Would you say that is positive, negative? Is it weak? Is it strong? What would you say? That first one. Or is it 0 or is it nothing? What do you think? Yeah, that one would be 0. There is absolutely no correlation. Would you agree? That would be a 0. I would call that a 0. There is nothing there. Like I can't tell if it's positive, negative, or whatever. This one right here. Can you tell me if it's positive or negative? Okay. Which way is that going? That one's positive. Would you call it strong or would you call it weak? Why? Because they're not really kind of there, right? Okay, but you can tell it's going which direction? Up. So I might call that like a 0.5 or maybe a 0.6 even. Okay. What about this one? I know this one. This one's kind of tricky. This one kind of messes me up too. What about this one, guys? Hold on, which direction would you say it is? Positive. It is positive. Okay. I would actually call this one okay. Okay, because I mean, I know that these are down here and these are down here, but if I drew a line through them, wouldn't most of them be close to that line? So I would call this actually a strong positive, believe it or not. What would this one be? Negative, strong. What number would that be? I would call that a -1. Okay, so you guys understand +1, -1, all that good stuff. Okay, I told you that wouldn't be real hard. Yes, it's not real difficult. Okay, let's move on to this. All right, let's talk about association versus causation. I love these questions because we get into some really good debates. All right, these are fun. Justify your answer. There is a strong correlation between the amount of serious crime committed and the amount of ice cream that is sold by ice cream vendors. Okay. Now, hold on. Now, weak. That's exactly right. Okay, unless people just love their ice cream, I guess. Like you run out of ice cream, people get mad and then start throwing fists. I don't know what the deal is. Okay, would you say this is an association or a causation? Now, an association means that they're related. Okay, they are related. There's a relationship between them. There's an association. Yes, but a causation means that one thing causes another. Okay, would you say that this is a causation, that ice cream causes street crime? God, I hope not. Okay, if ice cream causes street crime now, we're in a world of hurt. Okay, all right. Would you say that there's even a relation with this? No. So I would say there's no relation at all with this. Okay, if anything, if you had to choose one, I would choose association because, and basically, if I'm going to write this down, I would say that ice cream doesn't cause street crime. Agreed? Would you agree that ice cream does not cause crime? Okay, unless you eat my ice cream. No, still my ice cream. Okay. By the way, what's your favorite ice cream? I'm curious. Favorite ice creams? Cookies and cream. What else? Okay, cookie dough. I gotta ask. Anybody in here an eggnog fan? One, two. Eggnog. Oh my gosh! Have you ever been to Brahms and get their eggnog ice cream? Okay, YouTube. I'm telling you, go to Brahms if you're in the Oklahoma City or you're Oklahoma, you're Texas. Go to Brahms, get the eggnog ice cream. I'm just telling you, you can thank me later. Okay, 100%. You will thank me later. If you like eggnog, go to Brahms, get an eggnog shake. I'm just telling you, it will change your life. Okay, I'm just gonna. It will 100% change. You're welcome, America. Okay, yes.
So like it's kind of niche, but there's chocolate chip cookie cone. It's like chocolate ice cream, and there's like bits of like chocolate waffle cone in there with cookies.
Oh man, we're talking ice cream now. Okay, let's go to another one. Go ahead. Salted caramel. Okay. My favorite at Brahms. You guys have that peanut butter cup shake. Oh my gosh, it's like Reese's ice cream, and they give you like these little cups at the bottom. So like when you finish the shake, there's like pieces of like chocolate at the bottom of your shake. It's almost like it's like a bonus. That might be the fattest thing I've ever said in my life. Okay, but I'm just telling you, it's amazing. I love it. Okay, good. All right, here we go. So we've already talked through that. Let's go on. The number of people who smoke cigarettes and the number of people who get lung cancer. Causation. This would be a causation. Why? Because smoking cigarettes cause lung cancer. Okay, so that would be causation. Everybody good? I'm still coming up with Brahms. Okay, let's moving on. All right, here we go. The number of cold, snowy days and the amount of hot chocolate sold at a ski resort. Okay. Now, does one cause the other? It's association. Yeah, I mean, just because it's cold doesn't necessarily mean that you have to buy more hot chocolate, but I think they are associated. Okay, one doesn't cause the other one. Okay, everybody understand that? Good, you guys. It sounds like what I'm hearing is you guys are kind of understand that. Moving on, the number of miles driven and the amount of gas that is used. This one would be causation. Okay, the more gas you have in your car, the more you can go, unless you're bougie and have the electric vehicles. Okay, I got to put electricity in my car. Okay, whatever. You do you. Okay, you do you. All right, here we go. Which one's a positive correlation? What letter? Hold on, look at your answers over there, A, B, and C. Which one's a positive correlation? C, pretty simple, okay? Would you say that's strong or weak? 0.98. I would call that a strong correlation, okay, because it's really close, okay? What about a negative correlation? Which one would that be? A. Which one is no correlation at all? B. Everybody understand that? All right, cool. Now here's where we're going to have some fun, okay? You guys ready for this? Now this is why I have my keyboard. Actually, instead of just having my clicker, I've actually got a keyboard with me. You guys have your worksheet, right? All right, we're going to have to do some work. Go to Desmos Graphing. Go to Desmos Graphing. Okay, go to your Desmos. Is everybody in there? Now, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go to it also. So this is why I've got it open. And I want you to go up to the top. Where's the mouse? There it is. Desmos Graphing. And I want you to go to the top left, and I want you to insert a table. So hit plus, and I want you to hit table. Okay, hit plus and hit table. I'm going to exit out of this so I can do all this with you. Okay, plus and then table. So we're going to go plus table. Now, I know if you go back a little bit, you guys will see the slide, the table or whatever else. Okay, or the thing that we have. You guys have that worksheet, yes? Okay, let me go back to this. This is the worksheet we're talking about. Looks like this: game attendance 2000, 2132, and so on. Okay, if you want to take a peek at that, or maybe take a screenshot of it if you're watching it, you can. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump back over here, and here's what I want you to do with this worksheet. We are going to take these numbers, which this is my X, and what is this one? That's my Y. You might want to write that down on that worksheet. I want to show you how to do this. Okay. And what I'm going to do is we're going to find out what the equation is just by plugging in the numbers. Everybody with me on this? And I'm going to show you how to do this in Desmos because this is going to be very, very, very efficient if you can remember this. There's going to be one thing you really have to remember, okay? So here we go. That's going to be my X and Y, so let's do this. So what's my X numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, right? So can I just do this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes? Cool. I just went straight down. Real fast. All right, now my Y numbers. I'm going to go over. I'm going to type my Y numbers. What is 1? 2000. What's my second one? 2132. 2198, right? Okay. Next one is 2301. Okay. Then we've got 2285. Then we've got 2401. Okay, is everybody good? Everybody's got it. So now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to click add an expression. So I'm going to come down here so I have a second window down here. Now, what was the equation that you guys remember? Y equals what? Y equals mx plus b. Now, I just told you that these points are not going to be perfect. There's not a perfect slope. If we were to do the y over x thing, the x's are perfect, the y's are not. Okay, it would not be a perfect pattern. So what we're going to try to do is figure out what the equation would be. Now, this is very, very important. Instead of being y equals mx plus b, here's how this is going to work. What does that say? X1, and this says what? So here's how this does. You're going to type in y1, and then you're going to put like this little squiggly, which is basically the button right above your tab. So you're going to hit shift and then that little, so it looks like this. You're going to go Y1, and then you're going to hit this. Okay? Everybody good so far? And then you're going to type mx1 plus b. Okay. Do you see those numbers down there at the bottom? You do? Now, if I were to zoom out of this, what this probably did was this just gave me a graph, by the way. Let me zoom way out. See it? See my line? Okay, it gave me a line. Now, if I wanted to, I could go up here and it would, it's in the 2000s, right? There are my points. There are my points. They're not perfect. They're not perfect. So I had to go up because my numbers are in the 2000s. Okay? Now, here's how you figure out the equation. I know I told you, I'm going to be very, very wordy today. That's just the way that it is. You guys see these numbers down here. What is the M? 73.3. That is your slope. Because hold on, what letter is slope? Y equals mx plus b, right? So it gives me the slope and it gives me the b. Okay? So my equation would actually be this. Y equals 73.34 x plus 1962.8. Okay, are we good so far? So do me a favor. On your worksheet, write down the slope, which we've already done. $73.34. Now on your worksheet, it says A. Okay. On your calculator, if you would actually use your calculator, the TI-84, it would say the letter A. Doesn't mess with, it's the same thing. Okay. So your slope is 73.34. What is your B? We already did it. Now, your correlation coefficient, okay? You have two different numbers down here. Your correlation coefficient is going to be the bottom one, your R, 96.9694. You guys good? Yes? No? Very simple. That's all it is. You use the table. Now, the hard thing that you're going to have to remember is this right here. Y1 squiggly mx1 plus b. You're going to have to remember that to type it in. It's pretty much the same thing as y equals mx plus b, yes? But the only difference is you have to put those little squigglies. And you got to put the ones in there. It's pretty dang similar. Okay? Everybody semi good? Everybody's all right? Please nod and tell me we're semi okay. Let's go to number 2. Yes, ma'am. That's your R number. You see where it says R? What's it say? 0.9694. Okay? All right, let's do the second one. And this is the last one I'm going to do, and then we're going to call it good on the video. Okay? Everybody good? Now, I believe you don't have anything on the back, which is good. All right. And then I'm going to give you guys a break. Okay? All right, so let's clear this out. Let's clear it out. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Clear it out. Let's insert a table. We're going to do the same thing. Now go to number 2. For those of you that are curious, let me go to number 2 on the video, which is this one right here. Oh, that one's a little bit different. Hang on. Let's see if I can find the one that's on the... There it is. All right, we ready? Let's do this one. 3. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes? So on the calculator, I'm going to go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're going to use 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Ooh, I kind of see a pattern there. Don't you? So if we do this right, it should be perfect, right? So do you think this would be a perfect line? Is there a pattern on the Y's? Yes. Is there a pattern on the X's? Yes, there is. So hold on. What's the Y going up by? 2. What's the X going up by? So what should my slope be if I did this correctly? It's 2 over 1. All right. Well, so let's see if we got it. So let's do it. Put an expression in there. Y1 squiggly mx1 plus b. There it is. And what did it give me? Did it give me any kind of decimals? Everybody look at it. You see any decimals? No. What is it? What's the y-intercept? What's the b? Put a 4 in there. I'm going to zoom out so you can see this. Here are all the points because they're all small numbers. There we go. Here are our 3 points, or I'm sorry, our 4 points, 5 points. Perfect line? Yes. Perfect line. Y equals 2x plus 4. By the way, this is a trick you guys can use when you take your test because we allow you guys to use Desmos. If we give you a table, you can plug them in like this, and you can just type in y equals mx plus b to see if it's a perfect equation. Let me do that. Let me back this up. Instead of being y, if we think it's going to be a perfect one, I just want to see if it works. Y equals mx plus b, right? No, it didn't give it to me. Okay, so if you do the y1, it'll actually give you the equation. It'll actually give you the graph and the equation. Everybody good with that? Think that's a cool trick to actually have, maybe, when you guys have these tables? Do I ever tell you can't use Desmos on your test? Have I ever done that? I haven't. No. I'll let you use Desmos. Okay, because you're allowed to use Desmos on your STAR test. Okay. All right, everybody. Is everybody good? What's a perfect line? What's the number? -1, +1. Okay. What if there's no correlation? What is it? 0. So anything as the further you get away from 1, it's never going to be above 1. It's not going to be 1.3. It never will be. Okay. It's going to be either 0.9, 0.8, 0.7, whatever, down to -1. Okay. Everybody good? Okay. I know that's a really, really weird lesson. I get that 100%, but I needed to go over it. Okay. Correlation coefficient. Cool. All right. That's it. So enjoy. I'm gonna let you guys take a break. Okay, go.